Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing a highly requested comparison video, and that is a comparison between my Chanel Jumbo versus the Chanel Classic Clutch with chain. Now, this one here, my Jumbo, is a single flap, which I'll show you in a minute. And both of these bags, unfortunately, have since been discontinued by Chanel. So they are no longer available in the boutiques. And I was very lucky enough to snatch these up in pristine condition on the pre-loved market. So this one here, as you can see, has still retained its boxy shape, which is very difficult to find on pre-loved jumbos, especially single flaps, because they tend to lose their structure. The top, as you can see, is still very much rounded. So to me, this looks pretty much like new. And then my clutch with chain, to me, this looks like it's never been used. Even on the hardware, there's no scratches. So I feel like I've gotten really lucky with both of these, and they were both really great deals. So first of all, I'll give you a good side-by-side, and then I'll put the bags in front of one another. Obviously, the Chanel Jumbo is jumbo. It is quite large, and it is substantially larger than the clutch with chain. So in terms of height, I'm going to say that the Chanel Jumbo is just a smidge taller, but it's not that noticeable, maybe half an inch or so. And then in terms of length, going this way, you have about an inch or so, maybe half an inch to an inch of more length on the Jumbo. And then the most noticeable difference is going to be from the side. Obviously, in terms of depth, the Jumbo has a couple of inches there to put a lot of items in, whereas the clutch with chain is quite slim. So I will say that this opens up a bit, and I can show you in a minute. So it's quite pliable, but still you will not be able to fit nearly as much in the clutch as you would with the Jumbo. I also did comparison videos with the medium classic double flap that I have alongside the clutch with chain. So I'll link that video down below in the description box in case you missed it. That might be helpful as well. Okay, so I'm going to use a tape measure to show you the exact measurements of each bag, and then I'll show you the insides, and we'll talk about the weight of each as well, because I know it's quite controversial, as the Jumbo is known to be quite heavy, which is why I opted for the single flap. So we'll get into dimensions, weight, and then finally I will finish off with some mod shots, okay? So let me put down this Jumbo and grab the tape measure. Here is the clutch with chain. By the way, both are in black caviar with silver hardware. My favorite combination when it comes to Chanel. I feel like it's a very classic yet modern look, very youthful look with the silver hardware. So here, let me show you. This bag here has somewhat of a triangular base. You can see it kind of angles outward. It's not as rectangular as the classic flaps. So the very bottom here, I'm going to say, is roughly 11 inches in length. And then at the top, it's not quite as wide. It's going to be about 10 and a half inches. So there you have it. It widens by about half an inch total as you go down. And then in terms of height, I'm going to say it's roughly about 8 inches tall. And then in terms of depth, it'll be probably about an inch or so. Let's see. Yeah, about an inch and a half. And like I said, it's pretty pliable. So when you put your items in, this is what it looks like on the inside. One big pocket, and then there is this slip pocket that runs the entire length of the bag, which is really convenient. And it has this beautiful large back pocket as well, which is perfect for my phone. So when you put items in, I just put the tape measure in. It can open up a little bit, not very much, but it is somewhat pliable. Okay, and then let me also measure the strap length, the drop length for you, because this is a shorter chain strap than you would normally see on the classic flaps. Cannot be doubled. So let's see here. So the way you measure the strap length is from the top of the bag to the very top of the strap. If you hold it like so, so it's going to be roughly about 9.5 inches. Can you see that? It's hard to do as I'm turning it around, but it is about 9.5 inches. Okay, so then let me put this one down and grab the jumbo. The jumbo here, when I measure across, is about 12 inches in length. So it is about an inch or so longer than the widest part of the clutch that I showed you earlier. And then, in terms of height, like I said the height was pretty similar. Yeah, it's about 8 inches. So I would say the height is very similar to the clutch. And then we have the depth here. The very bottom, where it's the deepest. Let's see. It's about 3.5 inches or 3. Yeah, I think it's fair to say it's about 3.5 inches at the bottom. So considerably deeper this way compared to the clutch. The strap drop, when it's doubled, I don't think I've ever done this really. So this one here is on the single flap. It is about 14 inches. About 14 inches. And then there's also the longer version, obviously, which is quite long unless you're super, super tall. For reference, my height is about 5 feet, 5.5 inches. So you'll see how these look against my body in a few minutes. Put that down. And then I'll show you, like I said, this is the single flap version. Oh, I have this organizer. Let me just pull this out. Okay, so this is what it looks like on the inside. And it's got the open slip pocket as well as the Mona Lisa smile pocket on the back. I actually prefer the back pocket of the clutch because it goes all the way across and is quite roomy, but my phone does fit in here as well as because it's relatively big since the bag itself is big. So there you have it. So let me start with the jumbo and I'll show you just how this looks on my frame. This is how I normally would wear it, doubled. And this is my hip, like right here is my hip. Kind of hard to see with this black dress. Show you on the other side. So it's a pretty big bag. It is probably the biggest bag that I have. That's not a tote bag, but I think it looks nice, oversized, but it's not too loud because it's just all black with a little bit of hardware. I also wouldn't mind carrying it on my arm like so. Here it is single. By the way, I love this feature with the single flap. The grommets are side by side, and because there's no double flap on the inside, you can just easily pull the chains through. Can't do that as easily with the double flap. Okay, so here it is, single with very long. I will say this is quite long on me. You can't tell maybe with this dress, but it is coming down to my thigh. My hip is here. So I would like it to be maybe up here. It's a couple of inches too long. And then crossbody, also, it's a tad bit long. I probably want it, a little higher. But also because this bag is so big, it looks to me quite ridiculous to wear a crossbody. I don't think it looks right. You see how it's sticking out? It looks kind of funny. So I definitely would just wear it like so. So I'll put this on one side and then let me grab the clutch with chain. So this one is really fun because I think of this as not only just a chain strap. By the way, it's super delicate and really feminine, like if you compare. You see the thickness of the chain on the jumbo is quite wide compared to this one. I think this is just very, very pretty and delicate. It reminds me of the chain on my Chanel Walk, my wallet on chain. So this one I see also as an accessory, because if I want it to sort of dangle out as I use it like this, looks super cute. I can also tuck it in. Because it's short and very thin and delicate, it's not heavy, doesn't get in the way when I get my items in and out. So for a more evening look, I could wear it just like this, very clean. This one here, of course, you can wear anywhere, casual, evening, informal, formal, but I think this just looks more chic, more polished, more ladylike if you're going to a formal evening event. And then I'm going to take the strap back out. And I'll give you a quick comparison of how this looks on my shoulder. So there it is. It is probably hitting, the top of the bag is hitting right at my rib cage, the top of my rib cage, and then the bottom of the bag is hitting probably my waist. So it's quite high, but I do think again it's a more feminine kind of ladylike look. Here's the jumbo down here. And then I can also wear like so, perfect length for crook of the arm. Much lighter, and then so there you have it. Hopefully these mod shots are helpful. In terms of weight, I did do a video all about weighing my handbags. I had many of you know that I had asked for you to vote on which bags you wanted me to weigh with a little kitchen scale. And so I weighed many, including the jumbo, which turned out was under 2 pounds, which is great because that's my maximum threshold. I do not wear or keep any bags, no matter how beautiful, if they're over 2 pounds, because I know my shoulders and neck cannot handle it. This one came out to about 1 pound, around 1 pound 14 ounces, so just under 2 pounds makes the cutoff. Of course, when you fill it, it will definitely be over 2 pounds. Whereas this one here was just a little bit over 1 pound. I think it was 1 pound, not even 1 ounce. So I'm gonna say that the Chanel clutch with chain is almost half as light as the jumbo, even though this is the single flap, and I know that I'm saving a few ounces of weight on this compared to the double flap that has more leather material. Now if you get these in the lambskin, it'll probably be a smidge lighter because the caviar is a little bit thicker and therefore a little bit heavier, but I don't think it would be a substantial difference. So if you're going for a bag, and this is obviously if you are able to hunt on the pre-loved market, if you're going for a bag that is more everyday, can wear it anytime, I would say this is a really great option. The jumbo, iconic, classic, can't really go wrong. Go for the single flap if you don't mind this style, just because I think it's a lot easier to get in and out of without the double flap being there. It's also lighter. You saw earlier that I did purchase a bag organizer for this because I want to retain the structure so that it doesn't get all pointy on top and all smushed on the bottom. But if you're looking for something that's more formal, more evening, if you're not going to rock Chanel all day running around and you're only using it for special occasions, I think this is a great option because it's so classy and just looks it looks like one of the Chanel classic bags, even though it was seasonal and is discontinued. And also you'll save a lot of money if you are able to find this one. And it's really hard to find from what I understand because so many people have reached out asking me about it. This is going to be about half the price. If you were to buy the Chanel Jumbo double flap, which is still in the boutiques, the classic, that's over $7,000 in US retail at the moment. This, I believe the last retail price before it was discontinued a few years ago was $3,100 or something like that. I paid less than that because I got it pre-loved. So, you know, let's say these were both available in boutique, you're saving like half the money if you go with this. But again, it really depends on which look you prefer and also what fits your lifestyle. So I'll give you one final twirl here. Alright, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and found it to be helpful in any way. If you are new to my channel, this is what I do. I share fun, frivolous, luxury content and also introduce you to some more lesser known brands that I come upon. So please consider subscribing. I'd love for you to join. Thanks so much, guys. Till next time. Bye-bye.